Hello and welcome to our fashion video on the topic of upmarket clothing fashion in the UK and its comparison to fashion in Europe. In this video, we'll be discussing the latest trends and styles in both regions and highlighting some key differences between them. Introduction. Fashion is an ever-evolving industry, with new trends and styles emerging each season. Today we'll be exploring the upmarket clothing fashion scene in the UK and how it compares to clothing fashion in Europe. From iconic British brands to emerging designers, we'll take a closer look at the key differences and similarities between the two regions. Part 1: Upmarket clothing fashion in the UK. The UK has a rich history in fashion, with many iconic brands originating from the country. Brands like Burberry, Alexander McQueen, and Vivienne Westwood have helped shape the fashion industry in the UK and around the world. Today, upmarket clothing fashion in the UK is known for its classic, elegant, and refined styles. From tailored suits to luxurious cashmere, the UK is renowned for its high-quality craftsmanship and attention to detail. The United Kingdom is well known for its fashion industry, and in particular, its upmarket clothing brands. From Burberry to Alexander McQueen, the UK is home to some of the most iconic and luxurious fashion brands in the world. One of the defining characteristics of upmarket clothing in the UK is its emphasis on quality and craftsmanship. British tailors are renowned for their attention to detail, and the country has a rich history of textile production, with many mills still producing high-quality fabrics today. In terms of style, upmarket clothing in the UK tends to be classic and timeless, with a focus on traditional cuts and silhouettes. However, there is also a strong tradition of innovation and experimentation in British fashion, with many designers pushing the boundaries and incorporating new and unexpected elements into their collections. When it comes to pricing, upmarket clothing in the UK is generally quite expensive, reflecting the high-quality materials and craftsmanship that goes into each piece. However, many UK-based brands do offer a range of price points to cater to different budgets. Overall, upmarket clothing in the UK is characterized by its quality, craftsmanship, and classic yet innovative style. Part 2: Emerging designers in the UK. While established brands like Burberry and Alexander McQueen continue to dominate the upmarket fashion scene in the UK, there is also a growing number of emerging designers making waves in the industry. Designers like Molly Goddard, Simone Rocha, and J.W. Anderson are bringing a fresh and contemporary twist to traditional British fashion, with their unique designs and unconventional approach. The United Kingdom is well known for its fashion industry, and in particular, its upmarket clothing brands. From Burberry to Alexander McQueen, the UK is home to some of the most iconic and luxurious fashion brands in the world. One of the defining characteristics of upmarket clothing in the UK is its emphasis on quality and craftsmanship. British tailors are renowned for their attention to detail, and the country has a rich history of textile production, with many mills still producing high-quality fabrics today. Part 3: Clothing fashion in Europe. While the UK has its own unique fashion scene, it's worth exploring how it compares to clothing fashion in Europe. Europe is home to many iconic fashion cities, including Paris, Milan, and Berlin, and each city has its own distinct fashion style. Paris is known for its high-end couture fashion, Milan for its luxury designer brands, and Berlin for its alternative and streetwear-inspired fashion. In terms of style, European upmarket clothing tends to be sophisticated and chic, with a focus on clean lines and understated elegance. European designers also tend to be more experimental and avant-garde than their British counterparts, often incorporating unusual textures, colors, and silhouettes into their collections. When it comes to pricing, European upmarket clothing is generally quite expensive, with many luxury brands commanding premium prices. However, there are also many up-and-coming designers who offer more affordable options for those on a budget. Overall, upmarket clothing in Europe is characterized by its luxury, elegance, and avant-garde style. While it may be more expensive than other types of clothing, European upmarket fashion is often seen as an investment in quality and style that will stand the test of time. Part 4: Key differences between UK and European fashion. One of the key differences between upmarket clothing fashion in the UK and clothing fashion in Europe is the emphasis on tradition versus innovation. While the UK has a strong focus on traditional, classic styles, European fashion is often more experimental and avant-garde. Additionally, European fashion is known for its high-end luxury brands, while upmarket clothing fashion in the UK has a more diverse range of brands and designers. Part 5: Key similarities between UK and European fashion. Despite their differences, there are also many similarities between upmarket clothing fashion in the UK and clothing fashion in Europe. Both regions have a strong focus on high-quality craftsmanship and attention to detail. Additionally, sustainability and ethical fashion are becoming increasingly important in both the UK and Europe, with many brands and designers prioritizing sustainable and eco-friendly materials and practices. Despite their differences, there are also many key similarities between upmarket fashion in the UK and Europe. One of the most important similarities is a shared emphasis on quality and craftsmanship. Whether it's a British tailor or an Italian leatherworker, upmarket fashion in both the UK and Europe is characterized by a commitment to using the best materials and paying close attention to detail. Another key similarity between UK and European fashion is a focus on classic, timeless styles. While European designers may be more experimental and avant-garde, they still value the importance of traditional cuts and silhouettes, just like their British counterparts. This is reflected in the enduring popularity of iconic styles such as the trench coat or the little black dress. In addition, both UK and European upmarket fashion are characterized by their attention to detail. From the quality of the stitching to the finish of the buttons, upmarket clothing in both regions is marked by meticulousness that ensures each garment is not only beautiful, but also functional and durable. Finally, there is also a shared appreciation for the importance of branding in upmarket fashion in both the UK and Europe. Whether it's the iconic Burberry check or the instantly recognizable logo of Chanel, many upmarket brands in both regions have created a strong brand identity that is instantly recognizable, and associated with luxury and sophistication. Overall, while there are certainly differences between upmarket fashion in the UK and Europe, there are also many key similarities that speak to a shared commitment to quality, style, and attention to detail. Conclusion? Overall, the upmarket clothing fashion scene in the UK is unique and diverse, with both established brands and emerging designers contributing to its rich history. While there are some key differences between upmarket clothing fashion in the UK and clothing fashion in Europe, both regions share a commitment to high-quality craftsmanship and ethical fashion practices. So, that's it for this video on upmarket clothing fashion in the UK and its comparison to fashion in Europe. We hope you enjoyed learning about the latest trends and styles in these two regions. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.